Alright, YouTube. This is going to be hopefully a one-part video on how I put add an amplifier to my Pontiac G8. So if you're here, it's probably because you either own a Holden car or a G8, or maybe even a Caprice. Well, maybe not, because Caprices did not have amplifiers in the trunk from the factory. Anyway, I know it's been asked for, or not asked for a how-to video, but people have talked about it. Comes up a lot. Basically what I'm doing is I am retaining my stock. As you can see, I'm going to retain my stock system because I like it, and I'm not willing to spend a ton of money on some of the other aftermarket stuff, which are all fine, but I don't know. Cheap, I guess. I don't know. So I'm going to show you what, as you can tell, I have a silver 09 and my wife's blue 09. She wants more bass because the 2.8s are just not handling it for her, so we are going to give it some love. And that's why I'm going to show you what I did. So I got two 10s in an ugly looking box, which it's functional. So yeah, it probably needs a paint job, but that's fine. It's just there to work. But what I did is, instead of putting an amplifier down here where stuff beats it up, I built a shelf. If you can see that up here, and there's 1 inch of clearance between the top of that amplifier and up in there with the package tray. It's been in there for over a year now. It does not get hot. My wiring needs some zip ties, yes, I know. But here again, it's more about function. I'm not trying to show it off or anything. So, what I got for her, again, I'm a budget type person. This is an amplifier I've been kicking around for about 20 years. Still works great. I got wire that I've had. That's a fuse down there. I taped the crap out of my fuses because you never know. You don't want that fuse block to open up and create havoc. Some RCA cables. And this is what I use to tap into the system, the existing system. Here's the sub I've had. I did not go out and buy. It was in another car from another time. I built this box, did a kind of a 20-foot paint job on it. Let's get back here. So one of the things I have learned is this Velcro. You put that Velcro on the bottom of that box and it tends to stay put. And I like that. So what I'm going to do, as you can see here, I actually took the time on this car and I painted this piece of plywood. Probably scratching the crap out of it right now, but painted it black. I always told myself I was going to take that one down in my car and paint it black. Never did. This one I at least painted, so when the finished product, it'll just be black. I'm going to cut a couple holes here, some 4-inch screws, and I'll show you how it hooks into the top and how I hung this up there and secured it. Figured I should also mention, here's the screws that I'm going to use. 4-inch long, 1/4 inch. I think screws work the best. I mean, you could use a bolt, I think. I don't know. I might end up putting a washer on this side. To secure the other side of it, which would be this side, I used plumber's tape. I'll show you that in the silver G8 before we get that far. But what I found, the trick to this, so hopefully I have enough light back here. Oh, where are you at? We're gonna have to cheat. Okay, see that spot right there? Well, these screws, if I can get my hand out of the way, will fit right like that. And then you run a bolt up there and tighten her down. There's one on each side. There's another one right there. And then I'll use self-tapping screws and use that plumber's tape to secure the back of it. As you can see in this car, maybe that's a better representation of how it looks finished. You know, I just did a couple screws here, or a screw and some bolts, or nuts, sorry. And then back here you can see the plumber's tape. That's about all you can see of it. Oh, nope, from here you can. There we go. That's all I did. Simple. Get a better view of it in there. And ran all the cable down through there. As I mentioned before, I should probably zip tie that up. But without further ado, I guess a better time to just get started. So this is where we're at. Got the 4-inch screw. It's probably not necessary, but I countersunk it on the back side. I didn't put washers up here on the other one, so, and it hasn't caused me any grief, so I'm not gonna do it this time either. But I am gonna take that amplifier off there because it's just unnecessary weight, and with the cords whipping around, it's gonna become a pain in the butt. So I think the next step is I'm going to kind of test fit it so I can figure out how long I need that guy to be. I'll probably just measure off of what I did in the other G8 and just repeat since I've already got it done. Yeah, let's hop to it. So I got the amp off, makes it much easier to work with. I figured it was noteworthy to mention before I go any further. Somebody's probably going to ask, but this piece of plywood, sorry, the tape's upside down, 21 by 9. This is 3/4 inch. The other car I did MDF. This one's, I think it's birch plywood. The screws that I countersunk, I think they're 3/4 off this side, 3/4 off that side. I just kind of eyeballed it. Nothing special. I mean, they'll fall into place. But one thing I did notice, this is the driver's side, because obviously you're gonna flip it over. And this side is 3 inches, and the passenger side is 7. And the amount of plumber's tape I used, you either go off 4 inches. I just counted it. It's 8 holes. Should be fine. I think, so at this point, you know, looking at it from the trunk, it's gonna look like that. I'm gonna bend these up the best that I can. I'm gonna go off camera, lay on my back and kind of try to test fit this thing and get my holes drilled. And then from there, we'll get some more footage of what it looks like dry fitted in there. I think if I remember right, I got it dry fitted. I got to get my ground. I grounded the amplifier back in the back where I secured the plumber's strap in, or plumber's tape. So I got to do that as well. Clean off a little paint. You know, and it probably should be worth mentioning. This is just how I do things. I'm sure there's people who are gonna say, "Hey, why are you using a red power wire for ground?" Well, I at least took the time to wrap it in black tape. It'll work. I've done it before. Phone cable. There's a phone cord right there. That is for this amplifier. Has an LPL, something called a bass knob. I will eventually, at some point today, run that up front, up by the driver's seat, so she has a little control over how much bass she wants. Other than that, next steps, get this thing fitted in. Well, as you can see, I kind of got inadequate lighting, but I did dig out my GoPro. So we're gonna try to get a little bit better footage of this. I got it hung up in here. There we go, a little better. No amplifier. It's just hanging there. I'm gonna mark my holes where that plumber's tape is. Right back there. I kind of like the way it's sitting just like that. It kind of matches the down angle of the package tray up there, which will make sure I have good clearance, you know, and for giggles. I don't have any lights over here, but you know, you can't really see. I have my flashlight in my pocket. Let's see here. Yeah. It's just kind of the same deal. We'll just let her hang. And we'll hit that screw hole right back there. Looks like I had 2 tries at it last time. Probably, oh, I bet you that's what happened. I see that upper hole back there. I probably hit that first, and then the amplifier wouldn't fit, so I just scooch down a little bit. Let's probably keep that in mind when I do this right now. It might even be wise to measure from this back corner up and replicate that. I'm gonna do that. All right, so we got her in. Got her grounded. I haven't completely tightened it down yet, which is just, you know, snugging down those 1/4-inch nuts. One thing you might want to keep in mind, I already see I have one issue, is there is no way, and this is why I haven't tightened it down yet, there is no way I'm hooking up that subwoofer to those screws. There's no way I'll get a screwdriver on it, so I need to do that before I finish. Also keep in mind where your amplifier screws are for setting it. You know, if they're over here somewhere, there's no way you're going to get up there with a small screwdriver to adjust it. I mean, I got a little bit of a room here. I mean, I can stay below this. It's no big deal. My power wire. But I'll probably get the sub installed next, so I could get this done and get this secured, and we finalize that for now, and then I'll start the wiring process. You know, I've already got this opened up. We'll get this guy pulled out and exposed, and I'll show you how I tap into the existing wiring to put that that low level, high level converter in, and how to set it up, and we'll go from there.